Jnanakosha, Puranas,
सर्गच्च प्रतिसर्गच्च वंशो मन्वन्तराणि च वंशानुचरितं चैव पुराणं पञ्चलक्षणम्.
Varnashrama Dharma. All the Manus practiced the precepts of Dharma, righteousness. This meant non-violence, truthfulness, piety, going on pilgrimages, donating alms, serving devas and brahmanas, tolerance of all religions, and the following of the sacred texts. It also meant the practice of the system of four classes, varna, and the four stages in life, ashrama. The four varnas are Brahmins, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, and Shudras. Performing sacrifices, donating alms, and studying the Vedas are duties that Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, and Vaishyas must perform. In addition, the Kshatriyas must protect the good and punish the evil. The Vaishyas must take care of trade, agriculture, and animal husbandry. The duties of Shudras are to serve the Brahmins and artisanship. When Brahmanas take up the Upavita, the sacred thread that is the mark of the first three classes, it is like a second birth for them. So Brahmanas are known as Dvijas. And Anuloma marriage is a marriage where the husband is from a higher class than the wife. The offspring of such a marriage belongs to the mother's class. A Pratiloma marriage is a marriage where the wife is from a higher class than the husband. Chandalas were born this way from Brahmana women, Sutas from Kshatriya women. Devalas from Vaishya women, Pushkahas from Kshatriya women, and Magadhas from Vaishya women. Chandalas are executioners, Sutas charioteers, Devalas guards, Pushkas hunters, and Magadhas bards. Chandalas should live outside the villages and should not touch those belonging to any other class. The best name for a Brahmin is that which ends in Sharma. Similarly, the best name for a Kshatriya ends in Varma, for a Vaishya in Gupta, and for a Shudra in Dasa. The sacred thread ceremony is to be held at the age of 8 years for Brahmanas, 11 years for Kshatriyas, and 12 years for Vaishyas. No sacred thread ceremony should be held beyond 16 years of age. The first stage in life is that of brahmacharya, studenthood. A student should never eat honey or meat and should never indulge in singing or dancing. He should completely give up violence and speaking to women. His duties are to discuss the Shastras, holy texts, and associate with learned men. Apart from that, he will meditate in solitude on the true nature of the Brahman. The next stage of life is that of Grahastha, household stage. A Brahmana may have 4 wives, a Kshatriya 3, and Vaishya 2, and a Shudra only 1. The husband and the wife should be from the same Varna. Marriage across Varna is to be avoided. A woman can marry again provided that her husband has disappeared, is dead, has become a hermit, or in such a sinner that he is expelled from his own Varna. If her husband dies, a widow is permitted to marry her late husband's younger brother. A householder should get up at dawn and pray to the gods. He should always bathe in the morning. He should not talk impolitely. He should not bite his nails. He should not laugh at those who are inferior. And he should never reside in a place where there is no king, no doctor, or no river. He must not insult his elders. He should never criticize the Vedas, the Shastras, the Devas, the sages, and the king. and he must never travel without a light at night. The third ashrama is Vanaprastha, forest dwelling stage. Such a person should always sleep on the ground and wear skins as clothes. He should wear his hair matted and give up the company of other people. He has to serve gods and guests and live on fruit and roots. In the final stage of life, a person becomes a hermit. In this ashrama, a person attains true knowledge and is completely freed. But he should become a hermit only when he is convinced that he has completely lost all interest in material pursuits. Such a person is not affected by birth or death. He realizes that the physical body is transient, that it is of no concern at all. It is the knowledge of the Atman, soul, that is the best form of knowledge. When one gains this knowledge, one realizes the identification of the Atman with the Brahman. One understands that the Brahman is everywhere. Sins and their atonement. If one commits a sin, one has to atone for it. This is known as prashchitta. If one does not atone for the sins that one has committed, it is the king's duty to punish the sinner. If one drinks from a well where the dead body of an animal has been floating, one has to fast for 3 days. The worst possible sins are the killing of Brahman, the drinking of wine, and theft. Other sins are criticizing the Vedas, the bearing of false witness, killing a friend, killing a cow, forsaking one's parents or sons, the selling of pawns, murder, lying, killing animals, and the cutting down of green trees for fodder. A killer of a Brahman has to build a hut in the forest and live there for 12 years. He has to beg for a living and give up all that he possesses to another Brahman. A killer of cows has to live on just coarse grain for a month. He has to live with cattle and follow them around during the day. All his possessions have to be given up to a Brahman, and he has to bathe in cow's urine for 2 months. If a Brahman steals gold, he should go and report his crime to the king. The king will then hit him with a club, and this will be the Brahman's prashchitta. The sin of killing Kshatriya is 1/4 the sin of killing a Brahman. If one kills a Vaishya, the sin is 1/8 of the sin of killing a Brahman. And if one kills Sudra, the sin is 1/16 of the sin of killing a Brahmana. Killing a cat, a mongoose, a frog, a dog, a lizard, or a crow is as sinful as killing a Shudra. Vratas. Depending on the tithi, the day of the week, the nakshatras, the month, the season, and the position of the sun, certain specific religious rites and ceremonies have to be performed. Killing of any human being is sin. So it doesn't matter which class he belongs to, but no human being, no animal should be killed. And the vratas, the first day of the lunar fortnight, is known as Pratipada. The day of the Pratipada in the months of Kartika, Ashwina, and Chaitra are Brahma's tithis. It is then that the worship of Brahma must be done. On the second day of the lunar fortnight, Dvija, Dvitiya, one should eat only flowers and pray to the 2 Ashwins. This makes the supplicant handsome and lucky. Shukla Paksha is that lunar fortnight which the moon waxes, and Shukla Paksha, Dvitiya, is the month of Kartika is earmarked for the worship of Yama. If one performs this vrata, one does not have to go to Narka. This is also the day for praying to Balarama and Krishna. It was on the third day of the lunar fortnight, Tritiya, in Sukla Paksha and in the month of Chaitra, that Shiva married Parvati or Gauri. Rites performed on this day are thus known as Gauri Vrata. Shiva and Parvati have to be given offerings of fruit. The 8 names of Parvati have to be recited. These are Lalita, Vijaya, Bhadra, Bhavani, Kumuda, Shiva, Vasudevi and Gauri. Chaturthi Vrata is performed on the 4th day of the lunar fortnight, is Sukla Paksha and in the month of Magha. This is the day for worshipping the common gods Gana Devata. The offerings on this occasion are to be wine and fragrant perfumes. On the 5th day of the lunar fortnight, one performs Panchami Vrata. This grants good health and takes care of bad omens. Particularly auspicious for Panchami Vrata on the Sukla Paksha in the months of Shravana, Bhadra, Ashvina and Kartika. On the 6th day of the lunar fortnight, one performs Shashti Vrata. One has to live only on fruit, and if one performs this Vrata, the fruits of any action that one performs live forever. Shashti Vrata should be observed especially in the months of Kartika and Bhadra. Surya is to be worshipped on the 7th Saptami day of the lunar fortnight. If Saptami Vrata is observed in Sukla Paksha, all sorrow disappears. Sins are stoned for and all one's desires are attained. Women who have no children can have sons if they observe these rites. The 8th day of the lunar fortnight, Ashtami, is very significant. Krishna was born on this tithi in the month of Bhadra, when the nakshatra Rohini was in the sky. Ashtami is therefore auspicious in the month of Bhadra. If one fasts on that day and prays to Krishna, the sins of one's earlier 7 lives are atoned for. But this vrata is to be observed in Krishna Paksha and not in Shukla Paksha. Since Krishna was born in Krishna Paksha, together with Krishna, Rohini and the moon, Devaki, Vasudeva, Yashoda, Nanda and Balaram are also to be worshipped on the occasion. Since Krishna took birth, Janma on this Ashtami Tithi, this particular day is known as Janmashtami. The 8th day of the lunar fortnight can be important even if it is not the month of Bhadra. For example, the 8th day of the lunar fortnight might be a Wednesday, Buddhavrata, in both Shukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha. Irrespective of the month, such an Ashtami is important. It is known as Buddhashtami. On that day, one has to live only on molasses and rice and perform the vrata. There used to be a Brahman named Dhira, whose wife was named Rambha. Dhira's son was Kaushika, his daughter was Vijaya, and Dhira's bull was named Dhananta. Kaushika would go with the other cowherds to graze the bull. Once, when Kaushika was having a bath in the river Bhagirathi and the bull was grazing, some thieves came and stole the bull. Kaushika and his sister Vijaya looked everywhere for it but could not find it. In searching for the bull, they came to a lake where some women were bathing in the course of performing a vrata. Brother and sister were tried and hungry, and they craved for some food. The woman agreed to give them food, but only after Kaushika and Vijaya had also performed the Buddhashtami vrata. And as soon as Kaushika performed the ritual, the bull was miraculously returned to him. Such were the powers of the vrata that Kaushika could get his sister Vijaya married off to Yama and himself became the king of Ayodhya. After their parents, Dhira and Rambha, had died, Vijaya discovered that her father and mother were in Naraka. When she asked Yama as to how her parents might be delivered from Naraka, Yama told her that Kaushika and Vijaya should perform Buddhashtami Vrata again, and immediately after they did so, the parents attained Swarga. The ninth day of the lunar fortnight is Navami, and Navami is Shukla Paksha, especially in the month of Ashvina, is earmarked for the worship of Gauri. An animal has to be sacrificed and offered to the goddess on this occasion. The Brahmanas became all powerful if they observe Dashami Vrata on the 10th day of the lunar fortnight and donate 10 cows. The 11th day of the lunar fortnight, Ekadashi, is for fasting. It is also the tithi for praying to Vishnu. The observance of Ekadashi Vrata grants sons and wealth and atones for one's sins. The 12th day of the lunar fortnight is Dwadashi. Any Dwadashi in Shukla Paksha is auspicious for worshipping Vishnu. Daushami in the month of Bhadra is for praying to cows and calves, and in the month of Chaitra it is for praying to the god of love. If one observes Dwadashi for an entire year, one never has to go to Naraka. An especially good conjugation is Dwadashi in Shukla Paksha in the month of Bhadra, when the nakshatra Sravana is in the sky. If one fasts and observes a vrata, then one earns greater punya than from bathing in the confluence of sacred rivers. If Buddha, Mercury, is also in the sky, the punya is multiplied several fold. Trayodasi Vrata is on the 13th day of the lunar fortnight, and this ritual was first performed by the god of lover when he wanted to please Shiva. This is the tithi on which Shiva is worshipped. In the month of Ashvina, Indra is also revered on this tithi, and in the month of Chaitra, the god of love is worshipped in Shukla Paksha on the same tithi. The 14th day of the lunar fortnight, Chaturdasi, is also earmarked for Shiva, particularly in the month of Kartika. One fasts and donates to Brahmanas and thereby attains Swarga. The Chaturdasi in Krishna Paksha that comes between the months of Magha and Falguna is known as Shivaratri. Then one has to fast and stay awake the whole night. Earlier there used to be an evil hunter named Sudarshana, but because he performed a vrata on Shivaratri, all his sins were forgiven. Narakas, hells. If one worships Vishnu with flowers, one never goes to hell. There are several such hells. Although people do not wish to die, they are bound to die once their predestined time span on earth has been exhausted. One then has to pay for whatever sins one might have committed. The sinners suffer, and those who have performed good deeds are naturally rewarded. There are in fact two gates that lead into Yama's abode. The good are brought by Yamadutas, Yama's servant, through the western gate and are then taken to Swarga. Yama's servants bring the evil to him through the southern gate, and Yama then dispatches them to the various hells. If one kills a cow, one has to spend 1,00,000 years in a naraka known as Mahavicha. If one kills a Brahman or steals land, there is a burning naraka named Amukumbha that one goes to. There one suffers till the day when the world is destroyed. A killer of women, children, or old men stays in Raura Naraka for the span of 14 Manvantras. An arsonist is sent to Maharaurva and burnt there for an entire kalpa. A thief goes to Tamisira, where he is continuously pierced with spears by Yama's servants for several kalpas. After that, a thief is taken to Mahatamisira to be bitten by snakes and insects. If you kill your father or mother, you will be sent to the hell Asipatravana. There you will be continuously sliced into pieces with swords. If you burn someone to death, you will go to Karvamba Valuka, where you will be placed on burning sand. A person who eats sweets alone goes to Kakola and is fed only worms. A person who does not perform yajnas goes to Kutala and is fed blood. An oppressor is sent to Tailapaka and is crushed like an oil seed there. A liar is sent to the Naraka named Mahapata. There are several other Narakas for those who encourage interclass marriages, those who kill animals, those who cut trees, those who eat too much meat, those who criticize the Vedas, those who bear also witness, and those who criticize their teachers. Giving alms. Giving alms is extremely important as means for achieving punya. Alms always have to be donated when one goes to visit a temple on a place of pilgrimage. The giver must always face the east and the receiver must always face the north when alms are being given. Such donations have to be made after one had a bath. The best objects of donations are gold, horses, oil seeds, snakes, maids, chariots, trees, houses, daughters, and cows. If one promises to give something but later goes back on one's promise, one is sure to be destroyed. It should be remembered that the entire object of donation alms is lost if one expects gratitude or friendship in return. It is better to give something to a brother than to a daughter. It is better to give a father than to a mother. The entire concept of donation alms is different in 4 different eras. In Satya Yuga, the giver went out in search of recipient to whom he could give something. In Treta Yuga, the recipient had to come to the giver's house before he would be given anything. In Dwapar Yuga, the giver never gave anything without being asked for by the recipient. And in Kali Yuga, the giver gives only to those who are servile to him.